Hello my lovelies, welcome back to the channel. This is Damsel in Distress Tarot. This is going to be our weekly shadow work message, so we're going to try and find the balance between our shadow self, the side that we keep hidden from the world, and our light side, the side that the world sees. So I like to start with the shadow side of our deck, so the darker cards of the deck, and we're going to see what is hidden from us. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jenna, and you're welcome to comment, like, or subscribe to the channel if anything resonates for you in any of the messages. This is a channel where we share more than just tarot, a lot of sharing knowledge. I also am an avid crocheter and also a gardener, so I do share some of that on the channel as well, just to keep things a little bit different and interesting. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to see what we need to know from our shadow side. What is hidden? What do we need to work on? What is being hidden from us? There we go. All right, so the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Okay, excuse me. So we really need to work on letting our guard down, being able to trust people more. That this is an indication that we are maybe not defending ourselves like we need to, or that we've had to stand our ground for a very long time, that we've had to keep our defenses or our walls up super high. And so this is a time where maybe we start to relax that a little bit, or we start to see that not everybody is out to attack us, and so that eventually we start to learn to trust people again and start to let our guard down. There's been a lack of communication, and I feel like that's part of why you're so defensive lately, is that you really need there to be a conversation with a certain somebody. You need to be able to clear the air and talk to people and kind of resolve whatever issues are keeping you in that state of feeling like you have to be guarded all the time. Eight of Cups. So needing to walk away from something but holding on to it because of lack of clarity. So Eight of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So this is really telling us that we need to decide what it is that we want. And I feel like the clarity or the breakthrough is coming, but so far we're sitting in a place of clouded judgment, or we're really unsure of what we need to do. What's the next step? How do we leave this situation, this relationship where there isn't any communication and we always feel like we have to be on the defensive? So how do we actually move forward? All right, Ten of Coins. So money may be another hindrance or an obstacle in order to actually make some forward progress. And so it's really important that we start to save where we can. It's also something that you could be coming into a lump sum of money, and I feel like fear is definitely, you're worried that maybe this person will take from you, and so that's another reason why maybe your defenses are so high. Maybe you don't even want to tell this person that you're coming into a large sum of money because of the fear. So let's see, one more card. Yeah, King of Swords. So you might be dealing with somebody who's a bit violent, somebody who's very analytical, doesn't really show their feelings very much, but somebody who could be an authority figure, could be a boss, could be a partner, somebody who maybe just isn't operating in the nicest energy. This is like tyrant energy or dictator type stuff. Very controlling, lots of fear energy coming to the surface. So I feel like you're really worried about money right now. You're really confused on how to leave this relationship. There isn't any real communication going on at this time, and you're very, very defensive. So how do we restore the balance in this situation? All right, so you're gonna have to pinch pennies where you can. Again, saving money is gonna be important. Also, I would say that you don't want to overspend things until they're more balanced out. The Spirit's telling me that you need to kind of squirrel away some money so that you have it for a rainy day. So be cautious of your spending until your money does come in. Definitely something to think about. And you have a new opportunity coming. So I feel like even though there hasn't been communication, there will be, that things are changing, and that there's something that you need to take a leap of faith or step out of your comfort zone. For some of you, I really feel like it revolves around money more than a relationship, but we'll see what else the rest of the reading has to say. I feel like you're guarded about your finances, that maybe you've always been in a place of lack and that's not something new, but maybe things are worse than they've ever been financially for a lot of people in the collective. That seems to be what's going on. And so this is an opportunity to step out of your comfort zone, to try something new. It could be a job opportunity. It could be something where maybe you completely change career paths, and that could be very frightening. But there's definitely some news coming that some things need to change. This could really be a wish fulfillment for you as well with the stars. Maybe your true ultimate happiness lies with leaving the past behind you, leaving a relationship that's unfulfilling, where nothing else can be done to save this or resolve the issues that you're facing. So really trying to pour into your own cup and knowing that there's still hope that things can change for the better, because we know an opportunity is coming. 6 of Cups. So we're still in Mercury in retrograde for another week. Ends on May 14th. This is telling us that we have to look at the past in a new way. So you don't have the clarity yet, but I feel like the clarity is coming, that you're going to finally see the past the way that it truthfully is, not the way that maybe we want to remember things. What is that, wishful thinking or selective memory type stuff, where we only remember the good, right? But maybe we don't remember how much of a tyrant this partner or this relationship was, or how much oppression that it gave us. So we have to view things without the rose-colored glasses, so to speak. Strength. I feel like it's taken a lot of courage on your part in order to face your fears, especially your fears about money. So that's really a big important thing, that we have to release the fear of money. So what does that mean? That means that we have to stop self-doubt, for one. We have to stop self-sabotaging thoughts. We have to stop thinking negative about money. That we need to believe that we're worth being abundant, and that we need to start attracting the abundance that we are entitled to. So there's more than enough wealth on the planet for everybody, but it's like only certain people acquire that, right? Well, why is that? Why are they so much more abundant than maybe the average person? Well, they believe they deserve it, for one, and number two, they're willing to put forth the hard work in order to achieve those things. And that takes strength. It takes courage to maybe step out of your comfort zone and try something new that you aren't sure if it's going to be successful. But if you never try, you'll never succeed. So sometimes we have to take that first step. The Devil. So we're dealing with codependency, addictions, facing our fear, things that leave us feeling like we're stuck, trapped, and bound. And I feel like this relationship really was something that made you feel like you were stuck, trapped, and bound. So we're trying to let go of the toxic cycles, let go of the people, places, and things that are no good for us. And so while we're in a retrograde cycle, that's the best time to work on releasing things. 8 of Coins. So putting forth the hard work. Maybe you've been a little lackluster in your job. Maybe you've been a little lazy. Maybe you haven't wanted to actually put forth a good effort, and that's reflecting in your finances. So if you're willing to make changes and you're willing to maybe try something new, do a new approach, work a little harder, those things will pay off over time, but you've got to be able to put in the hard work in order to reap the benefit, the reward. And that's why you're not seeing it, was the lack of motivation, the lack of trying harder. Queen of Cups. When she's in the shadow side, she can be a little bit of a narcissist, or like the hovering helicopter parent. She's somebody who is a little possessive, a little controlling. She's not near as nurturing. So more negative connotations than positive. 10 of Cups. So this is very they're affecting my throat chakra. That's confirmation. There's definitely sense of emotional unfulfillment. So just really not feeling your best. Maybe things aren't going well. Lots of emotions in the negative side. Maybe you're feeling really sad and depressed, like you're not where you want to be in life right now. Maybe you don't have the partnership you're looking for. It's just not everything that it panned out to be. Page of Wands. So I feel like there's been a lot of delays, where normally this would be rushing energy. There's been a lot of delays, a lot of holdups in where you were really meant to be, or what's really going on. And so things need to transform. Things need to start gaining some momentum in order to go forward. All right, 5 of Cups. We need to really shift our perspective, and I think that you're starting to see this in a new light, that you're starting to see that things do need to change, and that we can't keep doing things the status quo, the way that they've always been done, because it's not working. It's making us unhappy. And so we want to do things that make us not only feel fulfilled, we want our ultimate fulfillment, we want our ultimate success in finances. So how do we go about that? Like, how do we actually achieve these things and feel better? Some inner work, some shadow work, and some reflection with the Hermit. Could also be dealing with a Virgo. So I really feel like this is the time. While we're in this retrograde cycle, we've got 2 planets in retrograde, Mercury and Pluto. This is really a time for us to take inventory, so to speak, and really decide, okay, what's working in my life, what's not working in my life, and make a plan of action to take that leap of faith to go forward. Is it going to be an overnight thing for most people? Probably not. It's going to take some time. That's where the strength and courage comes in. All right, what else do we need to know? All right, 9 of Cups. So your wish fulfillment is coming. It looks like you've been on the defensive for quite some time, especially about money. And part of that is just not willing to put in the hard work. So whether that's you not putting in the hard work or a partnership, but this is something that it's telling us, you know, in order to get our wish fulfillment, to get to where we want to be, the hard work is absolutely required. What else do we need to know? All right, 8 of Cups. We really do need to walk away from what isn't working for us. So there needs to be some open communication where there hasn't been any. You need to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. You need to be willing to let go of the negative emotions or the negative people that are around you and start nurturing the things that you want to grow in your life. You also need to be willing to walk away from what isn't working, and that echoes by, we also had that, where was it? The 8 of Cups, you have it both times. So that's a lot of where the balance needs to come from, is walking away from what isn't serving us in relationships. Whether this is a coworker situation, a friendship, a love relationship, this is something that it's time. We have to let go of those things in order for them to actually change. And you've waited a very long time, but your ships are coming in. So the timing wasn't quite right. You had to be willing to do the work. And the shadow work is a big part of why things haven't transformed. If you weren't willing to go into hermit mode, if you were always on, so to speak, you were always focused on what your tasks were every day or what had to get done, what had to be accomplished, you're putting your needs on the back burner. And so that's why you aren't seeing results, is because you were self-sacrificing. You were giving everything away to everyone else, to the tyrants in your life, to the narcissists, the people that were no good for you, the codependencies, all the addictions. And so by neglecting your own needs, you're really in a state of confusion of what to do next. But your breakthrough is coming. There's some sort of passion project, some sort of passionate new encounter coming. I feel like you get the breath of fresh air that you're looking for, but I think that you still have some loose ends to tie up from your past emotionally first. And then I think we get some momentum. What else do we need to know? All right, 5 of Wands. There's lots of conflict, internal or external conflict. And I feel like by shifting your perspective, that you start to gather the courage that you need in order to really transform and to also be able to go into your abundance. So really looking at the situation in a different way is going to help you to be able to overcome the obstacles that you're currently facing. All right, Page of Wands, there we go. So some forward movement, some sort of news is coming, but I think this waiting period was really necessary. I think the wait was something that had to happen in order to give you the time available to actually process through all the things that you were dealing with. All right, tell me about the 7 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. Yep, some balance is definitely needed. To be able to let your guard down, you have to be able to communicate openly, effectively, and most importantly, truthfully. So have integrity when you speak to people. Make sure that everything that comes out of your mouth is the truth. You wouldn't want people to lie or deceive you in some way, so make sure that you operate in integrity. Also remember to pour into your own cup first so you're not depleted. That's another reason why you're going to feel really guarded in any situation, is because you don't feel like your basic needs are being met right now. Tell me about the 8 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. All right, 5 of Coins. So definitely some money issues going on. I feel like by walking away from the situations that you know are no good for you, that starts to change. You may also have to block somebody or leave them out of your life. This might be a temporary thing, this might be a permanent thing, but I feel like that's what gives you the clarity to just let go, to leave this behind, and then things start to improve. I also feel like you're very intertwined with somebody, whether that is spiritually intertwined intertwined with somebody or financially entangled with somebody or whatever this is, but that you're very bound to this person and not necessarily in a great way. So whether that's like a financial relationship, whether it's some sort of karmic bond, soul tie, things like that, but there's definitely some sort of bond there that I feel like isn't the healthiest situation. All right, 10 of coins and King of swords. So we have the 10 of wands. So we really need to let go of this heavy burden that we're carrying. This person is not good for you, at least in the state that they're in. That's not to say people can't change, people can't heal, things like that. But in the current state, it's affecting your money. It's also affecting your mental health. Swords are all about air sign energy, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and very analytical thinking, not a lot of emotions, and I feel like that's the problem. There hasn't been any real expression of emotions here. It's been a lot of black and white sort of stuff, very analytical, like facts, figures, and numbers is what they're telling me, but nothing where it relates to emotions. So maybe you've had to compartmentalize certain aspects of your life just to cope, just to deal, because this person's so hard to be around. All right, tell me what we need to know about the Four of Coins and the Fool, the Hierophant. You're afraid of commitment at this time. This is something where I feel like you want commitment. You really are trying to connect to source, to your higher self, and really it's like you're receiving messages. There's definitely downloads of information coming to you, but it's almost as if you're ignoring it. It's like you're not really seeing what Spirit's trying to show you. Maybe Spirit's been trying to show you that this person is toxic for a long time and that, listen, you've got to get out of this, but it's like you're so confused, you just don't see a way out. The money isn't there, you know, you're kind of tangled with this person. There's not a lot of balance, there's not a lot of communication, and there's a lot of fear coming through this situation that you're really afraid to try something new or step out of your comfort zone. But what I'm picking up is that Spirit's telling you, take that first step and we will catch you if you fall, and that you just don't trust that that's something that's going to happen. So we really have to put our faith in the divine and know that if we take a risk, if it's a calculated risk and we really do make a stride to change for the better, that Spirit responds to that, and they see the bravery, they see the courage that it takes to do so, and it's making me very emotional. So I feel like this message is really going to hit hard for a lot of people who watch it, that you know, this is hard. This is a hard thing to change, but shadow work is not easy. It's very difficult to have all this stuff that you suppress come to the surface and to deal with it and to make these changes. And Spirit is saying, bravo, good job. We're finally going forward, and that's exactly where we need to be. What do we need to know about the stars and the Six of Cups? All right, so judgment is being passed by the divine. This is also a card telling us that we're going through some sort of transformation, or we're going through some sort of rebirth at this time. And so this is like the purging stage. We're being purified by the fire. This is a phoenix, and the phoenix is literally being burnt to a crisp and rising again from the ashes. So don't lose hope that it's possible to overcome your past, to change who you are if you don't like who that person is, and to transform into something more beautiful. You're going through your metamorphosis, your rebirth, your renewal phase, and that's painful. You know, it's like you have to let go of all the old ways of doing things, all of the old mindsets, all of the old habits, the addictions, the toxicity, in order to really transform this energy and to make it something beautiful. So take a long, hard look in the cosmic mirror. This is telling you that you basically have to see what it is that you yourself need to change. And that's really the purpose of shadow work, right? Is to look in the mirror and see what is not working within me. What can I change about me, about my situations? Because let's face it, we can only truly change ourselves. We can't change other people. So we have to keep that in mind and go, I can't change this other person, but I sure in the hell can change me. And make a solid promise to yourself that if you don't like it, if it doesn't work, you're going to to come up with a plan or solution no matter how long it takes to fix the situation. And that will take strength and courage on your part to overcome the toxic cycles, the relationships that are, toxic, or soul ties that you're bound to this bullshit and this bad habit, the addictions, the codependency. And this is really telling you that you have to take a look at yourself first in order to make these changes, but that you are strong enough in order to do so. All right, 8 of Coins. Tell me what we need to know about 8 of Coins, Queen of Cups. Yep, again, we have to look at ourselves. Have you not been putting in the hard work? Have you been lackluster? Have you been, slacking off at work or the hard work that's needed? Have you been a narcissist to somebody else? Have you been very negative? Are you kind to others right now? Are you nurturing the things you want to grow? Or is everything stuck and stagnant? Everything's negative. There's no positivity in your life. You have to look at you and face yourself in the mirror and take some accountability if some things need to change. All right, 10 of Cups, Page of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like your emotional fulfillment, your needs are not being met currently, that maybe you're dealing with a lot of players, a lot of people who are unable to commit, unwilling to commit, a lot of like one-night stands, a lot of flings, no real commitment potential because you're afraid of commitment. So maybe what you're truly doing right now is you're just kind of, winging it. You're just having flings here and there. You don't want anything meaningful because you're afraid to get hurt again, right? You don't want to be in another toxic cycle, another toxic relationship. You're looking for your ultimate happiness. You're looking for something solid, but you're unhealed, so that's not going to come through until you are. And so by doing the healing work, you start to open up opportunities to take a fresh start at a new beginning with something that's potentially a lifelong partnership. But some news is coming, so I feel like there's a lot of passion. Somebody might be coming through. Maybe your zest for life starts to come back and you finally start to have some passions. But we have, let's see, the Knight and the Page of Wands. So there's some evolution going there. It is slow. It's not a lot all at once. But again, lasting change sometimes comes slowly. All right, 5 of Cups and the Hermit, 2 of Cups. All right, so we're shifting our perspective after doing our shadow work. We've gone within, we're working on the things, we're facing ourselves in the mirror, we're going through our transformation, we're listening to source, we're gathering the balance that we need, we're fixing our finances, we're letting go of heavy burdens in our life. That's a lot. Maybe stop, take a pause, take a deep breath. That's a lot of energy coming through this reading already. All right, so what we're really looking for is a lasting commitment. We want our ultimate happiness. We want our person, right? But we want it to be the right person. We're tired of the players. We're tired of the flings. And when we finally get to a point where we're good with who we are as a person, because we've faced our shadow, we've faced our fears, we've overcome our addictions, our toxicity to ourselves and others, all of a sudden doors start to open for us, that we actually do have a potential mate coming in that's going to give us what we need, that's going to pour into our cup and we pour into theirs equally for the balance. Okay, let's see what we have for the 9 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. We have the 9 of Swords. Okay, so I feel like you're really overthinking walking away from somebody, as well as your emotional fulfillment. It's almost like you're juggling it, going, do I want to be happy or do I want to leave? Am I happy here or should I leave? It's like, should I stay or should I go energy? And you're really, really overthinking this. If you're truly unhappy and you know nothing else can be done, it's time to throw in the towel and walk away. If you have put in the work, if you have done the shadow work, if you have tried all of the options in order to see if it's salvageable. If it's just a toxic nightmare, it's time to leave. It's probably past time. And you know that if you're looking in the mirror and you're really seeing things clearly for what they are. You wouldn't be overthinking it. You would see, but you're very confused still. There isn't a lot of clarity in this situation of, okay, it's a clean-cut, clear decision that I need to leave this person, this situation, because I know it's toxic. You're still confused. confused. You're still on the fence. Like, I don't know, maybe it could work out. I don't know, maybe we could save this. You either can or you can't. And if this person's not willing to change or do their work, their shadow work, their inner work, their healing, then it can't be saved, because it takes two people to create the balance. Three of Wands, Ace of Wands. All right, Page of Cups. So there's no new offer coming, or you feel like you missed an opportunity. If it's with Page or Knight energy, you didn't miss anything. They're not quite evolved yet. They're not really offering you anything solid. This is flighty energy that's coming in. And this is a lot of immaturity with the Page. So I feel like this person couldn't really give you what you're looking for because of the immaturity, the lack of growth, the lack of knowledge, the lack of self-awareness that this person just doesn't have. They might have a crush on you, they might have feelings for you, but there's not enough depth or chemistry to keep things going forward. All right, Five of Wands, Page of Wands, Page of Serpents, Page of Coins. So, needing more knowledge in this situation. I feel like that's where some of the conflict is. And so you almost have to dig a little deeper to kind of gain the knowledge or the insight that you need to make an informed decision. Let's see. Very flighty though. I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of forward progress with any of the Pages or the Knights. I haven't seen any Kings, the Emperor hasn't come out. So really we're dealing with a lot of immaturity here, whether that's on your end, their end, both of you. But this is really telling you that it's time to change things, that things just aren't really working the way that you had wanted them to begin with. All right, what is our outcome for this situation? All right, Seven of Wands. So we're still very guarded about this situation. Excuse me, that's the Eight of Wands. So we need some more communication, and that came out once as well. So communication needs to happen, first of all, to help restore the balance. And then we also need to take a break. We're exhausted, we're burnt out, and we definitely don't want to keep going on this vicious cycle. We've got to let go of the ties that bind, basically, and all of the heavy burdens. What else is hidden that we still need to know? All right, so Ace of Coins. So there is an opportunity that you might miss because you aren't willing to be open to it. And this comes out with the Hierophant. So Spirit's trying to tell you that it's time to take a leap of faith. More fear coming up, but definitely something that you're going to miss out on if you don't wake up and see the writing on the wall. So that's important. All right, King of Wands. There's a king. All right, so when he's in the reverse or in the shadow side, he's somebody who is very not diplomatic. So he's not real tactful. He's very business oriented. He can be kind of shrewd. He's a little arrogant. It's not a little arrogant. He's a cocky SOB in this energy. He comes in like his shit doesn't stink. He comes in like he owns the place. And so he's facing judgment for this at this point, because the Divine's like, no, we're actually trying to bring in a wish fulfillment. We don't want any more toxic energies, so you're going to reap what you've sown. All right, what else do we have? Ten of Swords. Yep. Too many burdens. It's time to let go. Too much backstabbing, too much betrayal, too much bondage, too much pain. It's time to finally close out that cycle. Nine of Wands. So we're facing our fears. We're really overcoming the anxiety, the worry, because we're facing our fears. We're seeing what they are. We're standing up for what we need. We're not backing down any longer of the issues that we're currently facing. That our guard is up for a reason, because we're not dealing with toxic people. We're not dealing with narcissists anymore. We're trying to find the balance, and we're letting go of all of the things that we've had to have our guard up for so high. We are ready for battle, but we don't want to have to battle any longer. We want peace in our life. All right, Seven of Coins. So don't give up that things can change and transform, especially your emotional needs. But I feel like you're going to have to start giving the emotional needs to yourself first in order for them to be met. And I think that's going to be difficult for you in the interim, in the transitional phase, But once your transformation is complete, once this has actually changed, I feel like that's going to be easy for you, that you're going to be able to give to yourself way easier than you ever have before. But it's going to take some work on your part. All right, Six of Wands. So you're worried that you won't be victorious in this situation with love. You're worried that maybe what you want will never actually happen. Normally, the Six of Wands is a really positive card. It signals things like fame, recognition, things like that. I feel like you think you've been overlooked in love for a very long time. My left ear is ringing for confirmation. So you feel like you missed your shot at your ultimate happiness, your wish fulfillment, your partnership, your soulmate, your twin flame, whatever label you want to give it, at love. You feel like you've missed the shot. It's never too late. You see stories of people getting married in their like 90s. So while that might not be ideal for what you're looking for, sometimes it happens. Sometimes we're really slow to learn our really hard lessons. So it can take a while for us to get to where we need to be. What is our ultimate outcome for this reading? All right, Eight of Coins. So be willing to put forth the hard work to overcome the obstacles, the chaos, the overthinking, all of this. And you need to start listening to Spirit. They are trying to give you some insight. The Hierophant is Ascension. It's also a card of marriage. This is Taurus energy, so it's very stubborn. And I feel like you've been very stubborn when it comes to love and partnerships for quite some time. You're also not really listening to your intuition. You're not listening to where Spirit's trying to take you, or the information, the downloads that are coming through. So you really need to open your mind. And this little dot up here is supposed to be like the all-seeing eye. And it sees everything. Spirit sees everything. They know all of the stuff that's happened to you. And they're trying to guide you in a new direction. The question is, are you listening? Will you listen? And will you make these changes? That's the whole point of this whole reading, is about change. It's coming quickly. So the Chariot, this is Cancer energy. We need to find the balance. We have Sagittarius energy with Temperance. But finding the balance is going to help us to go forward. We have a week left of Mercury in retrograde. It ends on May the 14th. After that, your transformation is going to start to feel like all of a sudden things really move forward at lightning speed, that things just all of a sudden start to shift for you. We're still in eclipse season. We're still in Pluto's in retrograde. And I believe Pluto is governed by Scorpio energy, or it rules Scorpio, and Scorpio is death and rebirth in tarot. So we're transforming things. We're coming out of this dark phase of fear and repression and just not being happy and not being balanced, and changing things dramatically into where we're happy, we're fulfilled, we can give ourselves the things that we need. And then we don't wait around for a partner. We know that the divine is bringing us a partner. The divine is bringing us exactly who our wish fulfillment actually is. Why? Because it's our reward for facing our fears and doing the hard work. They're bringing in a solid partner for us. That's what I have for your weekly shadow work. I hope something resonates. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please feel free to do so. Like, comment, subscribe. It's always appreciated. Welcome to the family. We'll see you soon.